Hi, GenderBlenders. Welcome to week 101. This week's question was, there was a comment left on our GenderBlenders profile that says, was wondering if you could touch on the topic of relationships once you've transitioned. Are you in one? What are they like? It's a very interesting question. This is Steffi, and this is a really tough topic for me for a number of reasons. And I have to give you a little bit of background on my past relationships. Mindset in the old days. You're equipped with an Audi. You therefore must be a male and therefore must like women. Okay, so I had an Audi. So I must like women. And I was never really strongly attracted to them. I've had sex with exactly 2 people in my lifetime. I'm 64. Both of them were women. Neither were particularly wonderful. The person I picked as a mate was the strong one in the relationship. And I picked her really, in hindsight, because she really didn't need a strong male person, which I never really was. But you see, I didn't understand myself at the time. So I'm not a good one to judge on at least past relationships. I've had very limited number. During the early phases of my transition, I purposely did not seek a relationship. I figured I would be changing, and that would be to some extent unfair to a new person, someone who just knew me for the first time, and to see this person changing in front of them. I mean, that's really not fair to them. So I didn't seek out any relationships during that period of time. And in honesty, I didn't know how my change was going to affect my preferences. If you go look at some of the different YouTube videos and some of the stuff on the internet, you find out that some people keep wandering back and forth from preferring men to women to men to women to no one to both. I didn't know how I was going to change, and I was actually open enough to accept what was going to happen. Ended up being pretty strongly attracted to men. I like men. So that's what I'm seeking out in a mate. SRS happened, so I'm post-SRS, so I am anatomically correct for a woman now. And what are they like? Part of the question in terms of relationships. Well, I don't currently have any relationship other than a do-it-yourself. And guess what? Things work. Even though I'm, I'm not even 3 months from my surgery yet, but I'm pain-free, and a month or so ago I started exploring. It took a little while to find the right spots, and what I can report is it works. And indeed, what I find is the orgasm high is more sustained than I ever could achieve as a male, even though it takes a lot longer to get moving, so to speak. But once you are, it's way stronger, and that's what I'm finding. And so that's what are they like? After your transition, from my experience, limited though it is, it's much better. So I'm working on a relationship. Am I in one? Part of the question. I've begun flirting. I'm openly looking for a partner. I've talked to several folks by way of the internet, and at Disneyland, when I go up there, I have a couple of times gotten sort of at least picked up for the day. Nothing has emerged that has continued any of those particular relationships, but they were pleasant while they were occurring during the day, and pleasant company for the day. Care and feeding of trannies. Some people are afraid of us, you know. They don't know how to act around us. I mean, you know, sexually. They may be attracted to us and may be afraid of that attraction and can't get over that fear. And that person's not going to be a keeper because that person's not going to be able to handle us, you. So that's one thing to watch out for. You know, make sure that the people are at least open. And sometimes that's difficult to do. And of course your mileage may vary, but I tell people up front what I am. And I do that specifically to find out if they're going to have a problem with it. Because, you know, I really don't want to waste my time on somebody who's going to go away and leave me heartbroken. And not understand what I am, or not be able to handle what I am, or not be delicate enough to handle what I am. Because you see, you gotta understand, I'm new at this girl game. And so consequently, it takes a little bit of care and feeding to help me understand how to act. But you know, there are some really, really, really nice advantages that we offer other people. Since we are on the other side of the fence, so to speak, and now this is probably more related to hetero relationships either way, or bi relationships, than it is to gay or lesbian relationships. But since we know from the other side of this fence that somebody enjoys, we can provide that. Also, I at least understand, and I think a lot of people do who are in our shoes, understand that, you know, when we know what we want and try to form a relationship, we want that relationship to work. We want it to work. At least that's true of me. And for a relationship to work, that means that I can't be stereotypical female, cold. I can't have a headache. And I know that that frustrates the other side of the fence. And therefore, I won't do that. I will be open and loving. And, you know, so that's some of the good things that we trannies, since we know what frustrates the other side, we know how to avoid that. And that's always a good thing, too. Conclusions. Is it possible to have and maintain a relationship? I think it is. There are some issues that we have to watch out for because, you know, we are a minority. And there is that issue of prejudice and bigotry and things like that unconsciously some people are going to have. So that's my response to this week's question. As I say, I'm not really that much of an expert because I can't drag somebody over here and say, see, here's my partner. Don't have one yet. But I'm working on it. Until next week, this is Steffi saying bye-bye, everyone.